22,000. Sisia, yedi about 25,000. Fantimaira, ne 25,000. Sisia, yedi about 15,000 Ghana cedis. Afi Valentine way dear, no chocolate. Surprise order for any assassin. Prayer office here, Nabajo dear, and answer free 0552 487 385. Diamond Grand Ray Estate. Yes, say, hey, don't come you, don't come. Don't call me Valentine Ababio Adofo Denedusu Enunti Diamond Grand Ray Estate ye dwene mo ho ya titi ensase ni nyina so 50% discount 50% discount enije samne se de obedi kan abeto asase full plot cash down ye ba man 10 bags of cement ahwe one tray free documentation and afusu ye ba man baby a ewo kwan ho betum dia ye store enunti surprise wodofo any asase wo maami ana wo papa wo yire ana wo kunu wo girlfriend imposa ye wo boyfriend surprising assassi this Valentine assassi ye kan ho asem e wo Fantimaira danger assassi full plot na 42,000 sisia ye dia about 25,000 Fantimaira na 25,000 sisia ye dia about 15,000 Ghana cedis afi Valentine way dear no chocolate surprise order for any assassi prayer office here na bajo dear and answer free 0552 487 385 Diamond Grand Ray Estate. Yes, say, hey, don't come you, don't come. Don't call me Valentine Ababio Adofo Denedusu Enunti Diamond Grand Ray Estate ye dwene mo ho ya titi ensase ni nyina so 50% discount 50% discount enije samne se de obedi kan abeto asase full plot cash down ye ba man 10 bags of cement ahwe one tray free documentation and afusu ye ba man baby a ewo kwan ho betum dia ye store enunti surprise order for any assase wo maami ana wo papa wo yire ana wo kunu wo girlfriend imposa ye wo boyfriend surprising assassi this Valentine assassi ye kan ho asem e wo Fantimaira danger assassi full plot na 42,000 sisia ye di about 25,000 Fantimaira na 25,000 sisia ye di about 15,000 Ghana cedis afi Valentine way dear no chocolate surprise order for any assassi prayer office here na bajo dear and answer free 0552 487 385 Diamond Grand Ray Estate. Yes, say, hey, don't come you, don't come. Don't call me Valentine Ababio Adofo Denedusu Enunti Diamond Grand Ray Estate ye dwene mo ho ya titi ensase ni nyina so 50% discount 50% discount enije samne se de obedi kan abeto asase full plot cash down ye ba man 10 bags of cement ahwe one tray free documentation and afusu ye ba man baby a ewo kwan ho betum dia ye store enunti surprise order for any assase
Nonsia abo afahonsima enwoche me magam na ahwefo ene ebiemu nso Diamond ahwefo nyina ajo esanso emamo akwaba ede eba Diamond Television eso sabre ensama yabo ano ewo mangana emu ene amahodo eso ene ede eba abesomo se Diamond enwumre nonsia kasebo na kasebo no de bedimu akotin ebi enie sawa emu ne ye mampanyi wode eye ehye atoni January so one shame na eye nhwehwemu a ese na efata no wonye emfamfa eye oral committee wo reporter wo de abano eho sanso ena ebiemo eye yera Samuel okujeto ablakwa echiremu na chese enei wo man no eka yabo anase sika sebio akodi eye enkrofo botom yekeka na chese eye wo pepe 21.19 billion US dollars no ehu enchiremu nso ye de beba abesomo na eneyi eye layi afeto agbo wakasa na wochiremu a eye daughter of the medra and someone ekoso ewo mahwebedwe fe no wochiremu nhwehwemu nkoso pa na nipa wodi sabone fosam no yema emra enunu endi na ebiemo enso no sabre ahemfo no ene ahafo regional minister akasa wochiremu se dwumedie biara a wona wo mudi nanim kan eye no wonhwe se wabai wobeto aso esanse eye o man sika ene ede ehye sa dwumedie nim ensem ene dodo na ene yabo anu ayede eba abesomo se Diamond enwumre no nsia kasebo no nwumeko eso yasen ayede eba abesomo eye Diamond Grand Real Estate o se eba na ensase anebo eda from kania ewoso enso ewoso langa de sembia enimo ede ene hwehwe metwa kwan na chese eye vows day yes be krampo de na wo matete enoma so say hu ede ama eye wo mo ankrofo se wo mo enhwe se de be ya obetimi akire eye wodom ede ama eye wo hokani anase wukunu eno ntibomodin a na fa eye wo mo number e wo screen no eso ne no wo mo entwetwe nkomo se de be a nso benya asase no ne bo eda form ebie na nso so wetimi enya eye de keka ho a nso betimi edi asi wo dan sanso ena eye Ben Light Enterprise say o peka ho kane bia edia wo mo ewo ho ede ema wo say ye headlight tail light bumpers ana say de keka ho nyina no wo mo behwe asiesie wo ka no amana sanso agina eye brand o pe Ben Light atwa kwan ya wo bo so kan City Light Junction ho ena wo be hu no ebusia nwumako wei ene dodo na adaroma ena o masoma sen amede Diamond enwumre no nsia kase eboyi eba ababe somo mi amedi ho chia me midin ene ekua sikapa yetwa ye ho sima yeba yebedo kase ebo ni mu esuko Diamond ahwefo ye sanso emamo akwaba ebiem afei kase ebo no emu enchiremu eni oswafo ye paul no se wonhwe eye oral committee no under wo mo ano yewura Samuel okujeto ablakwa sabre wo chiremu na chese wo mo ye wo mo enhwehwemu na chese nkrofo efrefre ye wo mo frefre ye ede ensemetoto wo mo anim ene ebiem nso wo mo nso so a wo mo ede fa abel Fontaine fidie no eso ede ma wo mo no wo mo keka ede sie ni na chese 2417 suspected corruption cases and achese womo enya nti sabre yi womo ede akwakopiemu ewo Ghana mampanyi enim na wogye no ono so ekasa kakra na sei ena ensem no ekoye.
To cover all loot, as has been said, was a major anti-corruption plank in the campaign of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. All Ghanaians have been deeply outraged at the levels of corruption and the levels of dissipation of state assets, state resources. And they expect His Excellency John Dramani Mahama to fulfill his campaign mandate of recovering what truly belongs to the Ghanaian people. On the 18th of December 2024, the then President-elect, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, announced this oral preparatory team.
The findings of this report make for sober reading. They reveal the scale of financial leakages that have cost our nation dearly. resources that should have been invested in education, healthcare, infrastructure, and social development. But they also offer hope that through our collective efforts, we can reclaim what is ours and deter future acts of economic sabotage. As we receive this report, let me assure the Ghanaian people that the work does not end here. The recommendations of the report will be carefully studied, and where legal action and investigations are warranted, they will be pursued without fear or favor. Every peso recovered will be channeled back into national development, and mechanisms will be strengthened to prevent such losses in the future.
So Ediana chese Ghana mampenyi His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Sabre Ebra chese Oral Committee no edesa ensem no ebebeto nanim no nanyo no so eje ne penie wajiso mu ena wato ede amane eye Attorney General sese de eye ensem no esi abano no so momoden a na wonye nhwehwemu emfa won se de beye a eye de ehu hia se ye twenaso ye betwenaso no eso
Handed over the report to the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, and I give him firm instructions to commence immediate investigations into the cases reported in here with a view to prosecuting anyone found liable for corruption or related offenses. To those who think they can defraud the state and escape justice, let this serve as a strong warning. Ghana is no longer a safe haven for corruption. To those who stand for integrity, accountability, and the rule of law, I assure you that this government remains your steadfast partner in building a nation where honesty and hard work are rewarded. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a defining moment in our fight against corruption. We must all play our parts, citizens, civil society, the media, and public officials alike. Together, we will build a Ghana that is just, transparent, and prosperous for generations to come. The findings of this report make for sober reading. They reveal the scale of financial leakages that have cost our nation dearly. Resources that should have been invested in education, healthcare, infrastructure, and social development. But they also offer hope that through our collective efforts, we can reclaim what is ours and deter future acts of economic sabotage. As we receive this report, let me assure the Ghanaian people that the work does not end here. The recommendations of the report will be carefully studied, and where legal action and investigations are warranted, they will be pursued without fear or favor. Every peso recovered will be channeled back into national development, and mechanisms will be strengthened to prevent such losses in the future.
So akasiabono eso Ediana chese eye yera Samuel okujeto ablakwa wamfa ensiwa wochiremu na chese eye nhwehwemu anase nsemu bebeto wo mo apono eso a chese wo munya issues no over 2000 no wo mo aso ne eye ebiso adane eye eni na dodo na eye aduasa ensia 36 na de wo mo dane eni ehwehwehwemu ehwe ye se de enioma si ekon se ye dane no e de aba eye sika famu na ye de ensase ensuso a wo mo efa ekenten so anase wo mo etu abuokimu abi eje ye efa ye na chese wo mo eye ne se wo mo dane ni nyina mu e de aba sika famu de na chese enonso so no eye 21.19 billion US dollars sika ene ebenya e de afri eye 36 cases na wo mo adane ani ene ensase na chese ye be wie se wo mo ebe recover all no de na chese sika de aba wo mayi mu sei ene ono so e de nsem no tudwa
36 cases that we have reviewed in detail. If we are successful in recoveries, we can retrieve as much as 20.49 billion United States dollars. 20.49 billion United States dollars. 36 cases, and that's from National Cathedral, PDS, MS, SML. You have the GMPC Salt Pond decommissioning. And we decided that in this open session, we will not go into greater detail. And there's a great deal of resources belonging to the taxpayers that can be retrieved. Then we've also done an estimate of the state capture, the lands. If we successfully ask people to pay conservative market value for the lands they have looted, again, the experts are telling us that we can recover about 702.8 million United States dollars for the Ghanaian people. That's if we just ask people, those who were paying 42,000 cedis, 120,000 cedis, 160,000 cedis, to pay the fair market value. Those are lands that $500,000, $600,000, you will even struggle to get cantonments land at that figure. So very conservative estimates. We take the view that if people are asked to pay the real market value, this is how much we can retrieve. So in all, just a summary, the 36 cases, the high amount cases that we put together, and then the land loot, potentially we can raise about 21.19 billion United States dollars. And that is far more than what we have been chasing the IMF for. We have also saved large portions of the agric mechanization lands at cantonment. Those of you who are conversant with that land opposite the Elwak Sports Stadium, all of it had been allocated. The documentation we have is that all of that land has been sold. And the sad part is that you will see from the report, some people, prime cantonments land, paid as low as 42,000 cedis. 42,000 cedis for a plot of land. Some 160,000 cedis. And these government officials, MPs, ministers of state. So it was really just a giveaway. I'm sure President and his advisors will decide on what to do with the rest of the land.
Yaguswa ejna eye ora Samuel Okujeto ablakwa na kache na said the name no way oswafo ya pa no awoshe ya mana ne ho ensem so foreign affairs and biem so regional integration na eye eda edikan ya wokoko pie ye se chese wo ne eye wona wode wo mu bedi eye dwuma no ono wo mu edi eye ensa woso no wode nsem bi etu edwa se wo be hwe se Ghana fo wo mo eye amanane ahodo no elso no wo ma ho bambon nsem ebetimi akọ eye ye na ebiem so mo biara wo mo ehia no watimi ede aboa wo na eba no oman Ghana so so say ye nkrata won se ye passport no so a wo be hwe se obi ekọ na wo kwakwa fele forms anase bibia na ebe ye mprempren na ebe ye dana 24-hour economy no wo mo ede sa dwumadie no ebe hyehye eye eso aboa ama ebiem so ye ho ahayen eba no se ye pe eye krata ede etu eye ekwan na no ansan so ha wo kire mo ese na dwumayefo wo mo ahobambo ho ensem so yadea eda na koma so pa eye na sei ene ode ne nsem no etudwa.
So as foreign service officials, particularly those who will be privileged to represent Ghana abroad, those KPIs must be met. We spend billions of cedis annually taking care of our foreign service officials. It is important that the democratic dividend is realized. How many investors are we bringing in? How are we industrializing? How are we ensuring that the MOUs, the agreements that we enter into, we are concretizing them on the ground and making sure they manifest in the lives of people? So we are going to be big on that, making sure that there are clear targets that we are meeting and that in all we do, there ought to be the impact felt. I have also talked about economic diplomacy and how that concept must materialize. Because as a developing country, we all know that what must be done is to make sure that the people's economic welfare is pursued. You know, unemployment has worsened over the period. It's now around 14.7% from 8.6% in 2016, according to the Ghana Statistical Service. You know that we are putting in a lot of efforts to host the Africa Continental Free Trade Area so that we can trade amongst ourselves, so we can industrialize and create jobs for our young people, so they'll stop dying, on the Mediterranean. Then I've also informed the Chief Director that to hit the ground running, today we shall inaugurate 2 committees. The first committee will be on passport reforms. There's been a great deal of concern by the Ghanaian people that they would want passports to be, in terms of the processing, in terms of the convenience, they would want that we work on that. The second committee we shall set up is the Migration and Welfare of Ghanaians in the Diaspora Committee. You heard me say that the Foreign Ministry should help to address the unemployment crisis. So that is a committee I'm passionate about, and I want us to hit the ground running with those 2 committees. As I conclude, I would want to admonish all of you colleagues that your welfare will also be my utmost priority.
Honorable Minister, we look forward to working with you to continue forming long-lasting diplomatic relationships with our neighbors and allies, having productive discussions on important international issues, and standing up for the principles that are key to our foreign policy. Ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa brings a wealth of experience, fresh perspectives, and a deep commitment to our ministry's collective success. It is imperative that as a ministry, we show the same level of enthusiasm and dedication that has made this ministry thrive. Let us welcome the change, or the changes that he brings on board, with positivity, an open mind, and readiness to serve in our capacities as civil servants.
Openyi kwanhwefo dada no wo hwe eye enkran pumpuni mantemo eso ni laye afeto wode nsem bi ato edwa ede afa de koso ewo mrahwebedwafie se eye edomkuma no wo bitiamu ewo honomo efre eye yewura zenato wo mo efre no ese woye the son and the daughter of a medra na sa ensem no ena ewura ekiremu ese enya de se ekoye na wogidi ye pa se eye mrahwebedwafie wo mo ewo eye cameras ewo honomo a ehwe etwe enuoma bia enu ntino wo mo enhwe na wo mo mfasa eye nipa no emra eye insane ni na wo mo entwe na so na ebiem wo kiremu se yewura eye JJ Rollins awanya ne ba bi ekro no se empo no na wo ye obi a na wodi awumpa anka ebra wo jai eye afenemu edema ye mampanyi dada kofo no ankasa abre no ena mpanifo ebeso ni mo atwena so se de se na efata ne ne ya wanya ne ba bi kro no ene ye beka ne kira sembone na sei ena ode ne nsem no etu edwa.
He deals with murderers not because he moves with them. Rollins punishes murderers and killers and people who are wicked on fellow human beings. That is the man Rollins. If it's about because of the excesses of the coup d'etats, the first coup d'etat, Rollins himself was brought out of a jail by soldiers. He wasn't even part of the planning after he's been arrested. When he was brought out of the jail, in the course of taking over the state, the broadcasting house, the Air Force, the military base, and other installations of the country, you know very well that there will be resistance. There will be resistance for his actions and the actions of those who brought him out of the jail. So that people will almost die. Those things happened. Some other individuals took advantage of it to go and score points. And everything that happens on the floor of Parliament is being recorded. And there's no way that when we decide to have an independent investigation team to go into this matter, they can't come out with anything good. They will always come out with a good report, and whoever did that wrongful statement will never go free. He will be dealt with. Because this was someone, Rawlings, that everybody respected internationally. And there is anything wrong that he did for not standing for the truth and justice and making sure that people who misbehaved were not punished. The international community would have come for him after handing over to President Kufuor. Very important, because it was said within the MPP group, no one is being able to be strong enough and brave and courageous.
Abusia ye to akase bono eso na ye de ani kokopiemu ewo eye ahafomantem asabre ya me no kase ahemfo eni kromafo womo ewo honomo ede anobansem ato edwa ede ama eye womo regional minister Charity Gardner na womo echirema na chese wakoye wo bayi a wa bayi mani hu ne ho se wo ye wo ba keke na emom onbo ne wo modin bia se de obetima ye ede aboa eye ahafomansin no wonye emfa emboa eye womo ewo mpunto fam no mu chiremo na eye tepa go so kwantempon no won hwe na womo enye mfa ma womo ebiem nso eye agenda 111 project no won hwe nyema womo Kenya se eni kukuo mu nso no suku adan a ewo ho no mu a wona na wote so no womo esie no ne nyina no wabe hwe no wanto no eye ejeje mu enka ne se saa enkrofo no a womo di nanim no ena ye nti ono na be obaba ye foforo won kan hu se eye Ghana sika no ena ye de share se adwumadie no nti wabe won hwe na wontoa eye esumfama wom
ko ese afa na eduru no so o magi ni din yakwan nsuo sukuu sam ayansab yasam eni eniema ebetimi aboa region fufurei ama etimi apagya bia no nananom yebetu na futupa na watimi atu anamon ama bibia ayepe na yesere se wobe omafa no se woyoba onhwe se ne mema ne ye no obetimi ayebi ni oba be metimi ye bia no oba etimi ye enti ene ono abaye regional minister onfa kukoduro ani nyansa Solomon ni Abigail nom enya ya omusu didibu ye man nyina no onfa nye na onyini din
obeboa am ya ba bewie ne titu ne ye kwan no akire nsua tepa go so onya kukoduro ma obi ahunahuna no ye nyina ye ta na chi ye bebo ne chidom mo hu on sheki kura adwuma say wa start no ne threat ne you binum by but mo on sheki me de ne meka che me nua ba ne se wonya kukoduro
eti ade mpaibɔ eno kotosre esra se wo de waba no memeye se me NDC ni me ye party say ahafu ni nyina ya wo dia oman ni nyina ya wo dia eti enim ne otimi ye eti ade mpaibɔ ta wa chi
oba ne ofin kran ba goso ne wonam kuranya ne fe na ni so ho sa obe ni ye obe amana chensa na hafufo enananom enomum kan be ye adwuma nyina wo gidie wo onabo charity mu se de onim ene de omunnim ne fa won ho bia nanom beka ne ho ene mpanfo bo na chido ma charity a wo ye for regional minister obeye bibia amana e kama hafu kwan de
eye ahafo mpuntuo eye ahafo kanko ene ye nyina ye hwehwe babi ti say obata patugo so kwa ikofi job eguso a wo ye kwan no wo wie ndc ye be som na ya supporto regional organ ya France regional minister na wa ye na juma kama
abusiafo ye to akase bono eso ye de ani kokopiemu ewo eye efinfin mantemo efutu mensinu emu ede asabre yi eye NDC womo parliamentary candidate ene biemu nso independent candidate na wo honum James Kofi Annan ena eye Louisa Boaben sabre yi womo akwakopiemu ewo eye Winneba High Court na womo nsemo mo de kwoto ho nyina ene se wo mu kiremu a eye domkuma womo ban deni eye Yera Alexander Afenyo Maken again enya de se sebio enkunima wo mo de ma no wo se ede efata na wo mo twema na che se ye pin sheet no signature se wo so no enne wo mo de na wo mo nipa wo mo soma no no ede no enko no se de esem na eye lawyer wo gina ye a wo kodi wo mo asem na wo ka wo mo asem ede mo mo so kire mo wo hwe se de eye judge ni no eye ne nioma e wo ho no na wo hu ne se asakokwa asanioma bi e ba so enu nti wo besere se sankom betima ye nsem no e de afri eye Winneba High Court e de akoba bi fofra anka ebeye ne de pa.
In order to make sure that all parties have been served, I called the bailiff himself and I asked him, has all the processes been carried out? And he said he has been able to carry out that of the substituted service, but he was unable to serve, or he has not served the second respondent. And I was surprised because there has only been one attempt at service on the second respondent. Now it means that he has 2 extra attempts to make, and he has not made any of those attempts. I personally financed him to go and serve. In fact, I even told him to serve at the district office, EC's district office in Winneba here. And he insisted that no, he has to go to Accra, their head office, to serve. I said, fine, no problem. I want my process to be served. So you take this money, go serve the process. Today I come to court. On Friday I call you. There is no service. And he says that the registrar gave him the process of the first respondent, which is the substituted service, and told him not to serve the second respondent, which I was a bit surprised. So I drew the court's attention to what has happened and the events which even predates today's. It is either the case is transferred from Winneba here to any other courts, any other high courts in Ghana here, or the registrar has to be moved away from this court because he seems to be manipulating the processes.
Do you think this is deliberate?
Of course, this is deliberate, because if you are a bailiff or you are in charge of a court and a petition such as this has come to you, you have served just once. You are supposed to carry out 3 attempts. Should you be happy? And when I asked you, you told me that the process that the registrar gave you was just that of the first respondent. What it means is that there are some hands, or the registrar is manipulating the process. Now, another event which also occurred was that, if you recall, on the 20th, is it 27th or 28th or so, the day Louisa Boaben was arrested, I was in court and I had filed a motion for a joint.
Yatu akasi abono eso. Mampenyi apao eye oswafa obehwe yapomuden ho ensem so eye kwabena menta akando na sabreyi woba ababa bekasa eye USA da sabreyi emwa na ye hwe ede free eye US fo no ho no mu a asie no wakasa ede afa enwo na wode ne nsem atu edwa na wo kire mu ese Ghana fo nka wo makoma ento wo mu eye mpa se eye enna eduokunu akire no Ghana ye besanso enya emwa ede afri US fo no enchen na sa eye enhye ayede atoso anase nunti no yentimi nya emwa bia eba yapomuden ho ensem emboa emma entimi enkonkan no emma yakoma entu na emom obeye do betimi bia se enna eduokunu akire no oman Ghana ye betimi enya emwa ese na efata na sei eno de nsem no etu edwa.
Yeah, I mean, this is a diplomatic engagement issue. So we'll be engaging them. We need them. We cannot say we don't need them. We need them. We'll be engaging them. They've given us 90 days. Let's pray that it will not go beyond the 90 days. But I don't think there's any cause of alarm for now, especially with the emergencies they were assisting. We have been able to put measures in place to, maintain those activities on the field. For example, I'll give you one example. The distribution of, we call it the last milestone. So the distribution of, consumables and what have you, they assisted in some of the regions. So we have put measures in place to be able to continue those activities. And so there is no activity that will be put on hold. all the activities they were supporting will continue to operate until we pray that God touches their heart to rescind their decision.
To akasiabono eso anacho se eye penyi kwantrefo edema National Roads and Safety Authority Abraham Amaliba sabreyi wode eye aprobo ahhehye so ekohwehwe eye kwantempon a womo eye overpass bema timamufo etimi enya biaye etimi afa enei na chese obi etwakwam naka abo sa nipa na eso ebetimi ate na ebra wo kwakohwe dwumadi a womo ede agu apono eso a womo eye ewo eye tetegu ka akudi La Paz ene aya Atomic Junction ewo enkran wo pumpuni mantem ene wode nsem dodo na etu eye nsentwerefo animu ese wo behwe se eye kwantempon so emra no timamufo ebehwe na wo mo edi so no sede ese na efata na ansa na no ode enkyerɛkyerɛ ebeba ede ama Ghana for sede ebe ya yebehunu kwan a yebefa so atoto eye ye nneoma se yetwa eye ekwan mu a.
There are attempts to put the footbridges in place. But many just say road markings anyhow. In some places, road markings be anyhow. You say in other places, street lights no end yet. Apart from that, so you need zebra crossing. Into when you know idea a high as new director for road safety. But many just say contractors no or more or more juma to ensure say pedestrian footbridges no ebe we intem. I no yes a court case and I me can say nipa kro na woko court no won dwen ne nkwala say omo be cross road no won dwen ne wife be cross road aba masalachi we won no ankasa onso be masalachi we nti wo dwen sa obo hu say project we project a ebe boa won no ankasa enye obia nso and I said, now you say Obina obe benefit on one casa. Yeah, laws no establishing road safety no. And my to me say, you bet me I enforce laws no. You any police for, but this must be done after education. Inti meneme daraja no beko akwatinase. Then we'll put up a plan for education of pedestrians. Because you know, government says say na nkrofo enfro bridge no. It's a waste. Into education beba enche bia say na me frame no, me san frame biom say this time we are going to do education. Na enche bia.
Yekopiemo awo buno is mantemo hono a techimandwadifo no enei womo akasa womo echirema efri bra ejabrane ejamantam ebebeto womo dwadie emu ebesai womo enioma dodo na ebosha dodo na na akoso ewo womo abrabomu no so besisa abreyi womo twa womani hwe benkum twa womani hwe nifa enyade se echese emoa no womo ensa eka no sede ese na efata no nti no womo de mpanifo no ho ya pa se womo yi womani ede ama womo nanso so no eja ahodo etoto ewo miaye no yakwakoye womo emo nanso ekame akwakoye se womo de yi womo ayi mu na emadodo na echiremu ese ebi wo ho no ma na jesese ni sika krampo wo benya ede amane ba akọ suku no akwakoye de nti won besre mpanifo se womo emeboa womo na womo nso entimi enya bibi enko womo ano na womo nya bi nso enhwe womo abusua
ama 2019 ya mwaka BMF mimi jina wose ya minika pre mimi sawa bako 20 na bako nso half ni nyina kapre ni nkutabi tong na fama me na de mbanya no na me ne me ma didi ti sese ya ba me boa ye de ya pemo ye ni boafo jesa awrade na mahama na ye eboafo so wa maboa ye de a obehunu na bi beda wansare ni nyina efiri en ahwa woto da hwa na wakuma abo pare woni muwa ba bia ba ye de na wonfiri mu ti ora worma o maniye batampa to wani ba hwe tekimafo ma ye yambobo
sese na mo na me kofa baaye no sister ni nyina hye etifie na we kura me kura bia me kwa akosha ase ya ye medwa me ho enfie num ni sister bisika hye be 600 million sister bijina wede no make us asem we na aja fie aja fo aye me kakra sese kakra ma kwagye so a sese ja sa toma ahye tibi kire kura afre me se school no di obejai eje se fie aja fo sika ahye ese medanya eho kakra kura bi atro be ba school so
from afo no mo betwai bade ba nam begua bi bana sa kesi wesia o ma biem na yedwa na gu afi so semufo no ba sisi patapata yedwa na chi binum anu matai binum anu wi enti yenim power fa so a yedwa na timi hye sa enti ye srabare so o ma bamfo emra light bia ni dwama enti minister ba yi no yesra nene omra na o mehwe na wo mo ama no media menam nimu dio na memma ne nkura no nyina fisa me ne ye hema odwama
efreme ankuma me tonam tejimajum me firi nam no maton o mo bana megia na o twe ba no aba begiska tina no nam a megia ya me dia kwesi wochimai pan no ye mienu aba ye nam no nra ni nyina ahye sese me mu kwan ya me fatu etu ya namfo no ka mesra Ghana bana se mesra o mebu ba wo school mu ma se ke university that's a intime mu akwa ni amesra o mebu am na mfo no bana wo twi ya nu kan ya mesra Ghana bana mebu na ma se mu ya ni bo fu bia wo bebi ya de wo yehunu prinini the question pa ni se mano emu makoma be 5 bi ewu because of deficiency sense okofa nam free abijan bedua bisu ko bupe kedeji no mo de nam na ba ti na mo de begu obi e ba be Friday na Thursday o mo nton to mo store wo so mo tone ma no ma store ne warehouse so de be ya abo no gboma o beton enti e man ne ma na ehie ne sika no mo biye obi dey 500 million 700 400 300 ni yo lo kura na ye 200 mo yakwa assembly akoka kire mo yakwa traditional council akoka kire mo cooperative ya under cooperative yakobo omoso amane e wodwoma obi anya ma na ne si 2019 ne gise ye MP ona mo matinya jemansa kosa wona be bo patana kura de man na mansuo togu na mensu na asada fraka ho kakra mo de ba na nya asem ketwa ite ba se ko efense ntu eteki sense hatineti assembly amwaye ajemansa kosa ono na be si patai di mai anenso 5 years ni anenso masara be si patakuri
ne 5 years mi se ya na 2 years so ya nya mo bia mo amwaye ye dia ro saka no for da wa 8 months ya o isi abanu ti esra ba wo me boy en sa yi mu de be ye
na ye free eye techiman dwedifo ma no wo mo ensem so de ne na ye nkwai na ye nkofa eye edwede mu nsem ememesom ya to akase bono eso na chese jedemu nsem no neyi eye mame Elizabeth Ofosu Ajare awoye Minister Trade, Agribusiness and industry sabre wodinani ekokopie mo ewo Gihok Distilleries Company Limited na na probo no emu no na wodi etu eja ese won se wona womo ensa no enkane no na womo ensa womo edekọ edwamanso no enya de se eso eto nanso enneyi womo akachi ewo nioma bi ehun esanse mfidie na womo edidi dwuma nanso okopie mu ho no hu se mfidie no se de esai esi afa enunti no na hoden aba form emma womo ntimi nya adwuma no se de sena efata na se de mampanyi ebosha wo hye efa 24-hour economy ho no wo behwe se womo nioma biara womo ehia no womo nsa ebetimi aka na womo nso etimi 24-hour economy no womo timi arane 3 shift ewo ho no na etimi aboa ama emebunu etimi enya adwuma aye sei eno de nsem no tudwa
omo ye nsa papa ensa Ghana for gidi na amanone for so gidi na ye nsa no edu Liberia enso to any countries bebre na so no behwe mfidie na ide ye na otumu sa ye dada Gihok nso edede ka bebre ama omo krofom ne omo digya no omo mu gidie no akofom enti ene ya ba ha se ye ba behwe omo mfidie no se de tie behwe enso mfidie na ye dada adwuma esese ye no ntimi nye ne ye nti afidie ba ko a ebe ye bottles be se 15,000 eye 2,000 eba sa na mo kana kosro if you say a car be buy 15,000 almost the same kana be 2,000 if you say afidie de waso awie power no ko nanso de aka no ekogu kwa nti ya ne say evaluation we be hu total health financial health of the place na fe hu say oh say ye the machine me ensa be ka ho a say afidie we yes sano a ebetumi amoya ya adwuma no bebre na omonsa no kra bi ni dwa so yie enso nkrofo ope nti market ne de wo ho both in Ghana and abroad enu nti ne ye ba behwe na ya hwe kwan papa ebenya mfidie na yetumi di saa ensan bi akwa amanone na a trade agreement na Ghana ne bochifo bi wo no yetumi aye wo hwe Africa ha after wo ho wo hwe EU ani omo wo trade agreement UK ani omo trade agreement enti ye behwe na Gihok aye kese na etumi atake advantage wo we nyina na me ken na nye Gihok nko a ekuekuo ni factories a eye nsa nyina kwan pa be fa so ebe bo omo amomo market access ya hwe omo amomo nyuma na kokane akonanim no ye beye because in the 24-hour economy no sa alcoholic beverages ni other beverages no they are low hanging fruits as yesomu ya ebe ma 24-hour economy asha asesi ase the era excellency John Dramani Mahama openo sa na ye behwe na ya boaboa factories no a mo ye beverages no matumi e de omonsa ne bia ba ye dwa so ha na more importantly no omo bia kwa amanone se be ya ebenya foreign exchange na ye sidi no nso a emu aye ha no na enya emuduro enti eno na ye kona de me de wo we ho ne se sa demand esan ya be create another demand for raw materials it's ethanol eno no value addition to cassava, maize and what have you into agribusiness ye bit na ye be add value to ye produce no abeda ho pefe say ye import ethanol no bebre ba ha ye import about 70 to 80% eba there is market for it into yenya business people we are interested in adding value to our products our produce na ebi wo ho market na ready dada. These are some of the things at the agribusiness side of trade and industry nebeye whilst feeding the industry also creating job opportunity for people and creating big business people out of this.
Yegusua ejina edwediemo ensem eso na Owura Joseph Bukari Nikpe awoye transport minister sabreyi wono so ekobo na pro na wode nani kokopie mu ewo DVLA na ehonomo na wode etu eja ss sabreyi Ghana woman no ya isi ginaye se okadafo no omo so no yebema wo makwanya se wo bedi wo dwuma se de se na efata wo bema wo enkrata esefata ache se wo bia wo betwi wokada no wo bekura enkrata krogen na etimi aboa ama ya kwantempon no eso no ewuwo ne de ekoso no ano etimi abre ase no nti wo kirema na che se na namonto wo de akopie mu ewo DVL ne se wo no wo mo akokasa na wo mo ato adwene ehunu ekwan ombefa so ombe ye nhyehyeye na etimi aboa ama okadafo nso so no etimi enya adwuma aye ewo mayi emu.
first day in office, and with so many agencies under my ministry, it is so dear that I take a step into their offices and their operations. DVLA is one of the areas we intend to work to improve upon, to ensure that whoever will sit behind a wheel is properly certificated by the DVLA and satisfied to use the road. We want safety on our roads. We want people to travel in comfort. We want to ensure that all vehicles are registered properly. We want to ensure that we do not have any connecting persons within DVLA, but that we should have technology to improve upon service to the people. If you are coming for a renewal and it is 45 minutes, as I'm told, you should be able to work within that time, and to ensure that we don't unnecessarily cause delay such that connecting people or men or women will come in to take advantage of. We are here at first hand to see the operations, to go around the DVLA and ensure that we support the CEO to deliver on his mandate. You remember that we made a campaign promise that we are going to regularize the use of motorcycles for commercial purposes. It is starting from today. We are getting to see what we will do to do a revision of the law to allow them to operate commercially. So if you've seen the ministry and myself here with the chief executive, it is on that line that I am coming for us to sit and see how we will work towards achieving that campaign promise and making it such that our brothers who are in the Okada business will have their own licenses and satisfy, well trained to be able to transport our passengers or our people on our roads. Also how to ensure that we reduce the congestion on our roads. And so it is just that first step for us to sit together, understand the operations and take it from there. We are not just standing here to look at timelines. We are going to commit to ensuring that within the shortest possible time, we get it operationalized. It is about work towards it. Today is my first day in office, and you will understand that it is of serious importance to us. That is why I am here, for myself and the CEO to kickstart activities.
Yes, for DVLA, this is just a start. License registration, vehicle registration, any other service we render to the public will be done on 24-hour basis. Someone sits on his motorbike and it's not Okada. You don't see it to be down. You don't see the one to be dangerous. But as soon as the person says he's rendering service for Okada, you think it's dangerous. Each and every one on the streets must be trained. Not only the Okada guys. Even though our focus is now on the Okada guys, each and every one needs some level of education when it comes to our roads. Our roads must be safer for you and I. So it is not only about Okada. There will be more workshop, more civil education on what they are supposed to do for our roads to be safe.
Yebejina edwadie mu ensem eso na yede kasebo no ninyina aba na wieye kasebo no mu aseda enkoma Diamond Grand Real Estate eba no ensase a ne bo eda fom na ebiemu nso nkania ewo so na ensuo ewo so na ebiemu langa December entity wo edia na ne Diamond Grand Real Estate ewo ho ede ema Val's Day said the make no ya tete eye ebo no so ede ama wo say hu sa won so no ubetimi atobi ede ama wodofo akire wodo ede ama ama no eno nti no tutumrike na hwehwe eye Diamond Grand Real Estate ekira kwan na ne wo mo ndi ensa wo so sanso na Diamond Grand Travel and Tour eto nsa dia frɛ wo bibiara wo pese wontu kwan enko amanone wonko ye adwuma se wo wonsa no dwuma woni nsa no dwuma ni nyina won beboa wo ama watimi akwakopie mu ewo ama hodo eso na watimi aye adwuma na wo so anya sika e de egu eye wo bottom se ye wo website ana wo passport mpo e na wo pese wonya wo passport no nyina no wo mbehwe aye ama won krata sem nyina etimi akọ wano obia entwimu endi se wo hwehwe Diamond TV ana se Diamond Grand Real Estate Diamond Travel and Tour obehu wo mo ewo eye Tabora number 5 oni Diamond TV ena ewo Dan Kronoa emosanso ena Ben Light Enterprise eba no eye kan ho nyoma bia edia ebesiesie wo ka no ama wo ka no so etimi agina brand ne na ebiemu nso so asi ne dademu na ne wusi kwantempo no so a nkane ne agina so se jiren ena ehwehwe Ben Light Enterprise wo machira kwan na sabre yi de na je se wo mo de nyoma foforo kra ena aba eno nti no wo kwa na wo bo se uche eye wo mo advert no ewo eye Diamond TV na je se ne discount chechirin chepa ewo ho ede ma obetima for mo numbers no ewo screen no so na no ma twetwe nkoma na se ko eye aboso kai City Light Junction wunya dru ho no a wo se wo pe Ben Light Enterprise akwada wo opanyino obia ebetrew na wo so wetimi ne wo mo ede eye ensa wo so nyuma ko wei ene dodo na ne so ya sen ema ye de eye Diamond enyumre no nsia kase eboyi ebesomo mi amede kase eboyi ebesomo medin ede ekia sikapa makramo
Don't call me Valentine Ababio Adofo Deneduso Enunti Diamond Grand Real Estate ye dwene mo ho ya tete ensase ne nyina so 50% discount 50% discount enije samne se je obedi kan abeto asase full plot cash down je ba man 10 bags of cement ahwe one tray free documentation and half you so ba man baby a ewo kwan ho betum dia ye store enunti surprise wodofo ene asase wo maami ana wo papa wo yire ana wo kunu wo girlfriend imposa ye wo boyfriend surprising assassi this Valentine assassi ye kan ho asem e wo Fantemira danger assassi full plot na 42,000 sesia ye dia ba 25,000 Fantemira na 25,000 sesia ye dia ba 15,000 Ghana cedis afi Valentine we dia no chocolate surprise order for any assassi prayer office sesia na beje odie anasa free 0552 487 385 Diamond Grand Real Estate yes say don't come you don't come